oil in his hand. One by one the sons of Jesse passed before him, but Yahweh had chosen none of them. Are these all your sons? They're still the youngest, he is tending the sheep. They called David from the fields. Yahweh said, rise and anoint him, he is the one. The oil fell upon his head, and from that day the Spirit of Yahweh came powerfully upon David. The battle belongs to Yahweh, not to the sword, not to the spear. A shepherd stood before a giant with no reason left to fear. The battle belongs to Yahweh. Let every kingdom know the victory is not in human strength. Yahweh brings the mighty low. Goliath stood before Israel, a giant covered in bronze. For 40 days he challenged the armies of Israel. David heard his words and said, who is this Philistine that he should defy the armies of the living God? Saul offered him armor, but David took it off. He chose 5 smooth stones from the stream and carried a sling in his hand. Goliath laughed when he saw him, but David answered, you come against me with sword, spear, and javelin. I come against you in the name of Yahweh of hosts. The battle belongs to Yahweh. The stone left the sling, the giant fell face down. No sword in David's hand, no armor on his body. The battle belonged to Yahweh. The women sang in the streets, Saul has struck down his thousands, and David his tens of thousands. From that day Saul watched David with jealousy. The spear flew through the room. David escaped. Again Saul hunted him. Again David fled into the wilderness. In a dark cave Saul came within David's reach. David's men whispered, this is your day. But David would not kill him. I will not raise my hand against Yahweh's anointed. Later David stood over Saul again, with the spear beside him. Again he walked away. The battle belongs to Yahweh, not to vengeance, not to fear. David would not take the kingdom by spilling Saul's blood there. The battle belongs to Yahweh. He would wait for Yahweh's hand. A crown taken through violence was not the way he chose to stand. Saul fell on Mount Gilboa. David mourned. Then Judah anointed David king, and in time all Israel came to him. He captured Jerusalem and made it the city of David. The ark of Yahweh came into the city, and David danced before Yahweh with all his strength. Then Yahweh spoke through Nathan, I took you from the pasture, from following the sheep, to be a ruler over my people Israel. A house would rise from David, a throne established beyond his own lifetime. David sat before Yahweh and said, who am I, Lord Yahweh? And what is my house, that you've brought me this far? But the king who defeated the giant was still a man. David saw Bathsheba, desire became action, action became deception, deception became blood. Uriah died in battle because David had placed him there. When Nathan came to the king, he told him of a rich man who stole a poor man's only lamb. David answered, I have sinned against Yahweh. The crown remained, but the consequences entered his house. Absalom rose against his father. David left Jerusalem weeping.